All right, my happy enders, we have more sponsors. Yay! Okay, so we have Dollar Days. Dollar Days is a very cool website where you can buy things in bulk, which is awesome for all of the holiday seasons coming up. You can get lotions, you can get soaps, you can get kids' clothes, you can get holiday stuff, like if you're doing stockings or anything. It almost reminds me of like the old Oriental Trading magazines you used to get as a kid. It's pretty cool. Probably shouldn't have said that, but Dollar Days is a super awesome website. And if you use the promo code HAPPYENDINGS20, HAPPYENDINGS 20, you get $20 off your order of 200 and more. Or if you use Happy Endings Ship, HAPPYENDINGS you get a flat shipping fee of $9.95 on any of your orders. So that's super awesome. And then our other sponsor is Shoe Dazzle, which is, I did not know this, but I guess it's a Kardashian enterprise, which is pretty cool. And what you do is you take a test. It's very cool. You take a test, and with your test results, what they'll do is they will send you a box every month of styles of shoes and bags and accessories. And so you don't have to think, which is cool because, like I said, who has time? There's too many naked people that need to be touched with lotion in my life to go shopping. So now Shoe Dazzle will bring it to me. And if you use Happy Shoes, HAPPYSHOES, you get your first fashion box for $10. It's fucking awesome, guys. And then, of course, we still have Blue Apron. If you go to blueapron.com/happyendings, BLUEAPRON.com/HAPPYENDINGS, you get $30 off your first box. And now Blue Apron is, like I said, something that I use. It's awesome, amazing. They bring all the food to you. It is fresh. You don't have to go shopping. And they give you a recipe so you look like a fucking badass when your dinner is done. You're like, how did you come up with this? And you just throw the box away and be like, bitch, because I'm awesome. So Blue Apron, super, super recommend Blue Apron. I love them to death. And now we still have a Handy app. Handy app is very awesome. It's a one-stop app. So if you need somebody to clean your house, if you need somebody to fix the IKEA furniture that you purchased, if you want somebody to help you with the ceiling fan, anything like that, Handy app is your one-stop shop for any of that. And it's super awesome. They're very reliable, very respectable company. And if you use the promo code AFFSAVE30, so AFFSAVE30, you get 30% off your first booking. And anything, guys, it's super awesome. You could throw a party and then have them clean it up. It's just a very cool service. And last but not least, we still have Famous Smoke Shop, because what's better than after a happy ending? A smoke. And their cigars, very good cigars. I have a couple patients who have used them and they love it. It's a good thing. So if you use HOT20, HOT20, you get $20 off your order of $145 or more. Or HOT10, you get $10 off an $85 order or more, which is super awesome, guys. Christmas is coming. Let's start stuffing stockings with shit. Let's do some shit. This episode is with Annie Lederman. And I do want to do a little disclaimer because there might be some triggers in this one. It was a very hard episode to record because sometimes on the massage table, stories and things come out that you weren't expecting. And I tried to make happy endings as organic as possible. So just letting you know, this is a little harsher of an episode. It's still a good episode. I love it. I love Annie and I appreciate her doing it. But just a little warning for you guys. So enjoy. So, okay. On the table, I have Miss Annie Lederman.
It's Letterman.
Is it?
Yeah, it's Letterman. But
what?
It's pronounced Letterman, but then my dad told me recently that my grandfather pronounced it Lederman.
Okay.
But my dad everyone always called it Letterman. And he was like, I think it's supposed to be pronounced Letterman. So then he changed it, and then David Letterman came out with 2 T's, and he's like, oh, Jesus Christ, now everyone says Lederman. So, I've been living a lie my whole life.
It happens. We all have.
But I just go by Letterman because that's what it's always been.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Oh, I don't care.
We can totally edit that part out. So on the table, I have Annie Lederman.
This bitch. If only you knew what she did before this was edited.
All right, have you ever had a massage before?
Yes.
Okay.
So many massages.
This is exciting.
I need one so bad right now, too.
Now, any problem spots you want me to focus on? Do you want me to
Well,
Eastery
my, I thought you said Eastery cunt. I was like, that's interesting.
cunt? Vinegary.
That's where you douche me?
Yeah, that's the happy ending at the end.
Now, all of what you're doing, that area is sore.
Okay.
My traps and shit. And my neck always hurts. I have TMJ, so.
Oh,
But right now I'm having problems with my inner knee.
Okay.
And because my hips and my glutes and my IT band are all fucked up.
Okay.
And I think it's because my theory is, well, one, my hips are tight, maybe my lower back is tight.
Yeah.
I do yoga a lot. But also I think I have high arches, and I think my arches collapse in, and they're pulling the inside of my knees caps down.
That makes sense.
Is my guess.
Do you ever roll with like the foam roller?
I do.
Okay.
I've been trying to. I got one of those sticks, the roller sticks too, and that's been helping a little bit. But I'm trying to. I just got like the dorkiest flip flops you can see over there because they're so comfortable and they support my
There you go. I'm a flip flop person all the way.
You gotta get.
Okay, I'll look at
They're
it.
literally unbelievable. I can't remember this. So sorry, listen.
Ha ha.
But it's like all shoes are just destroying my knees, and it's so annoying. Because I'm like, I'm gonna have to wear like fucking short bus shoes. No offense. I gotta
To
have
all my
Velcros.
short bus listeners.
To all the short bus listeners.
I have so many of them. Actually, I have no idea what I have. So they play me on the way to school on their little short bus. You're Canadian. Do you know what a short bus is?
I've heard of it.
Okay.
All our buses are short. We don't have enough people to have like a
That's so
not
funny.
true.
And you said you hike a lot too,
I
right?
do. So I haven't been hiking because of my knees. I want to get better insoles for my shoes before I start hiking.
Okay. And when you roll out, make sure you pay like special attention to your quads, because when your quads tighten up, it does pull the kneecap
Yeah.
off.
I know. I've been working on my inner thigh a lot too.
I bet you have, you dirty.
Oh
dirty.
yeah. I'm fucking riding that rollout thing. That roller, just get on it.
You could totally do a webcam series and never have to work a day in your life.
I know. Let the internet be my sugar daddy.
Uh-huh. Annie and roll out.
I'm so like, we were just talking about sugar daddies before we started recording. And I'm like, fuck that. And then I'm like, as I get older, I'm like, maybe I should have reconsidered.
I don't think
Get like
anybody.
in there. Sort
The only sugar daddy I have is the Andy. 'Cause, yeah, fat girls don't get sugar daddies. It doesn't
That's
happen.
not true.
Well, this fat girl. Damn it.
You gotta go to the Bronx.
Go to the wrong parties, Joy.
Always. Always have. Now, have you ever broken anything?
I broke my 5th metatarsal in my foot 3 times.
3 times.
Oh.
Once when I was, I crawled out of my crib. I was 18 months old.
Oh.
I crawled out of my crib. My mom was probably like staring at a wall. She was in a room just looking at herself in a mirror. Not thinking about her kids. But, no, I have a twin brother, and I guess I imagine myself just using his shoulders and just hoisting myself out of the
I was
crib.
gonna say.
Like the Rugrats, you know?
Baby ladder.
Yeah. And so I fell in my crib and broke. Oh, that was my arm actually. I broke my. First time I broke my foot. Sorry, I broke my arm twice. That was the first time I broke my arm, and then the second time I broke my arm was when I was 4. I was climbing on a banister in preschool, and I fell off. They were like, "Don't climb on the banister, whatever you do."
You're all climbing on the banister?
I was like, "Bye, bitches!" Like immediately climbing on the banister, fell off, broke my arm, and then so my foot. The first time I broke it was in a car accident when I was 12, and I was in 7th grade or 6th grade, I think. I can't remember which one. And I guess 6th grade. And I was a swimmer, and my mom and my neighbors and their kids were a part of the swim team that was training for the Junior Olympics.
Uh-huh.
So it was at a school that was like an hour and a half away. So they would wake up really early and drive in the morning and train, and then drive in the after school and then do their homework on the way.
Uh-huh.
So I was looking into that, going to visit that. I'd gone to one swim practice there, and then my mom was coming to check it out and talk to the coaches and stuff. And so my neighbor was driving, and then my mom was in the front seat. I was in the middle in the back, and then Bart, my one neighbor, was on my right, and then Vera was on my left. And
Their
a drunk driver.
parents.
What's that?
Their parents named them Bart and Vera.
Well, they're two different neighbors, so they were different
Okay.
families. Bart's sister's name was Allie, so it wasn't. They didn't have two crazy names.
He
Yeah.
was the outlier.
Barton was his name. Barton.
Barton. Okay.
And then I can't remember what Vera's siblings' names were, but they were cooler.
Mhm.
They were more kooky. But so there was a drunk driver. It was like maybe like 4:30. Like we're getting out of school, and there was a drunk driver. She was in a minivan. She didn't have her kids with her. She was going to pick up her kid,
Oh.
and she just went into the other lane, hit us head on.
Oh my goodness.
And I guess my foot. I think my foot maybe got caught on my the strap of my book bag. I think. And I somehow twisted it and broke my fifth metatarsal. And then Bart, the window collapsed onto his face and slit his eyelid open, and it was fucking crazy. And Vera and I were like laughing uncontrollably because we were in shock. We like could not believe we were looking at this fucking eye. He's like, "Does it look bad?" And we're like, "Yes, dude." Oh my god, it's the worst. And my mom had hit her chest. I remember it was really scary because she had to get put in like a neck brace. I think they put all of us in braces actually. And we had to go to the ambulance. And then Marsha, the driver, she got.
Those are fantastic names. I'm
I
sorry.
know.
I don't mean to interrupt,
It's
but
like
holy
you wrote
shit.
a story. You made
I
it.
know. I wish. I would have a very different life if I didn't get in an accident on the way to that swim practice. But anyway, so she, the driver, my neighbor, she got it. The steering wheel and everything collapsed in on her, and so they had to get the jaws of life and like pull her out the top of the car. She was trapped in her car. It was really scary. And I remember they cut my socks off, but I had stolen my older brother's socks. I was like, he's gonna kill me. And they're like, we think he's gonna be all right with it. And I was like, well, he was pissed, so you guys were wrong. No, I don't think he was mad, but so then I ended up not. You know, I stopped doing sports and I ended up like smoking cigarettes and kissing boys and shit. So I always think about that. I'm like, wow, if I hadn't broken my foot, I could be really masculine in build. I could have the broadest shoulders and the thickest neck and be some big butterfly. I mean, I'm sure I would have quit for some other reason, but it's just like the training to get back there was good.
Right.
By then I was like into boys.
Yeah.
And so then I broke my foot. When I was 14, I was a little bit of a juvenile delinquent, and my parents sent me. You're so stupid. I had this cousin, she was I don't even know how she was my cousin, but she was related and removed, and somebody's cousin somewhere along the line. She was in her 60s, I think.
Okay.
So she was older, and she lived in the Virgin Islands on St. Croix. She was the district attorney there at Candio.
Is that where LaCroix comes from?
I don't know. It
That's so
might.
stupid.
Honestly, it might. No, but it honestly might. I think about it every time I see it.
Okay.
LaCroix. Oh, it's French.
It's French.
Yeah, we're wrong. We're idiots. But the
Letterman,
Virgin Islands, I
Letterman.
mean, LaCroix, the Virgin St. Croix it's not one of the, it's a U.S. Virgin Island, or are they British Virgin Island? I don't know. But anyway, so I know that one is a U.S. one. But so she came to visit, and she thought I was fun. She liked that I was outspoken and a little troublemaker. And she's all cocky. She goes to my mom "Oh, I'll take her for a couple weeks in the summer, for 3 weeks. Send her to me." So they send me to the fucking Virgin Islands. I'm 14. I'm already drinking and fucking and smoking cigarettes and shit. And so they send me to a tropical paradise. And I meet all these local kids, and we're just having a blast. And I met this girl, Roxanne, who was from Texas, but her dad lived in the Virgin Islands, so she would spend the summers there. And her dad was such a drunk. I think he was a scuba instructor or something. And he, I remember him pinching my ass and stuff. It was gross, dude.
Ew.
It's gross. I mean, my parents never watched me, and just every grown up that wanted to fucking diddle just came right over to me.
Ew.
My parents were like, "Do you want to take her?" I'm like, I think they're gonna molest me. But
You
anyways,
need to parent more. What are you doing?
yeah, they really let me loose. Really not good for me, but in the end, I get to be a comedian, so you get to get diddled by a few adults, and here you are. But getting a fucking massage.
There you go.
Free goddamn massage. But so he was buying us alcohol and shit, and so we were hammered with him. His name was Gary, I think. And
All good weird parents are.
yeah, exactly. So we get hammered, and then I end up falling down the stairs just sloppy drunk. I remember we were drinking Lucky Strikes. And,
On the Virgin Islands.
in the Virgin
yeah.
Islands. I mean, it was awesome, And so I break my foot, and I remember she was making me take sailing classes, and I was like, bitch, my foot I can't walk. She didn't believe me. I was like, I'm really. And they took me to the doctor, and oh no, you fractured the metatarsal. So then I got a cast, and then my friends were taking me around and through the rainforest and shit on their backs. It was so fun. I had a great time. climbing up and picking me mangoes and shit. And then Candy, I'd had enough. So this was like a week into my 3-week trip. And she just sent me home. I woke up one morning. She was like, "You're going home now." I was like, "Oh, really?" And she was like, "You kept leaving my door unlocked." And I was like, "Lady, I am drunk. I was in a blackout. I don't remember what the
Girl, if that's the worst idea,
I'm like,
you're
the door was
welcome.
I'm like, I don't remember even coming through doors.
I'm in the house. Let's just be happy about that.
Right, so she sent me home. And then, I don't remember what happened in the end with my foot, but it eventually healed. And then, I broke my foot when I was in my early 20s in college, or when I was living in Santa Fe. I think I was out of college by then. But I was in the Pecos Woods, driving back from some like cabin, I think we were camping, and I was with like my ex-boyfriend, this other dude, and we stopped to pee in the woods on the highway, and I remember my ex-boyfriend Zeb, this like giant dude, was taking a piss, and I thought it would be funny if I pushed him into the woods, bare dick, into the twigs. In my head, for some reason, I was like, this is gonna be so funny.
This is it.
So I push him, but he's like 6'4", you know, and like a sturdy dude, and he was just like, didn't move at all, and he just looked at me like, with this look of like, were you just gonna push me bare dick into like, I was like, I'm so sorry, I don't know why I did that, whatever. Like, anyway, I gotta pee, see ya, and I like jump into the woods, I squat and I pee, and there's no splashback, like no pee gets on me, and I'm so proud of myself. I'm like, awesome, I didn't have any splashback. Then I pull my underwear back up, and I leap triumphantly out of the woods, and I just fall onto my foot and break my foot. Like, it was just the most immediate payback of of all time, like instant karma. And then I have to army crawl back to the truck.
Oh.
And I get there and like get into the truck and I'm like, my foot's broken. And they're like, no, it's not. It's fine. Because neither of them, you know, they're like, we didn't know. I'm going to the fucking hospital right now with this bitch. I wasn't dating either of them at the time. They're like, we're not even fucking this girl. We're not doing shit.
You're fine. Suck it up.
Yeah. So like you're fine. Meanwhile, I'm like seeing the swelling and I know exactly how it feels to break your foot. You know.
Right.
I just know that the pinky toe's not moving. You know.
Right.
And so they take me to the hospital and it's broken. And, so I wasn't drunk either. So I broke my foot peeing in the woods, drunk falling down the stairs as a juvenile delinquent, and 12 years old trying to be an Olympian.
What got you into swimming?
I think they just picked that for us. You know, I have a twin brother and older brother.
Okay.
They just wanted us to do a sport. And so, I mean, I played baseball. My mom was like really always used to talk about how she wanted to be a boy, you know? My mom was like the OG trans.
Okay.
But she was like, she always like wished she was a boy. And she was like, when I was a kid, I used to put my hair in a baseball cap and go to the park and nobody would let me play. You know, like, scram, girl, get out of here. I'm like, I think that was a scene from A League of Their Own. My mom just made this shit up.
Girl, you fell asleep watching a movie.
I'm like, bitch, what are you? Did this even happen?
You made a memory.
She's like a recovered memory.
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't know. But I'm like, so as a kid, so I have a twin brother and older brother who's 3 years older. And they were playing baseball. So my mom's saying this over and over again. And I'm like, oh, I guess that means, and my mom's the coach. So I'm like, I guess I should play on the boys' team. Right? Because my mom keeps being like, you're so lucky because you could play on the boys' team.
Right.
So I joined the boys' team. My mom's my coach, me and my brother's coach. This bitch trades me to another team. I'm like just doing it to like be near her. She pulled some strings. Like you can't even trade in fucking Little League. But she was also the president of the league, so she's like, I'm gonna make an exception for my own daughter.
Oh.
She trained me. I like needed her too, because I was 11. I just got my period too, so it was like I was just like in hell, you know. And so I remember getting my period. I was pitching and I got my period on the mound. I'd like run to the porta potty.
So you had mound.
I'd leave in a trail of fucking blood. And yeah, I mean, I didn't even remember. I had blocked that out, and then some kid years later that found me on the internet from Little League was like, "Do you remember when your mom traded you from Little League and you just cried the whole time?" And I'm like, "No." And I was like,
shit.
"Mom, why'd you trade me?" She's like, "I thought it'd be good for you." I'm like, "No, you thought it'd be good for you, bitch."
Right.
But now I realize what it was, and I do love my mom, but I'm like realizing a lot of her shit. But she wanted to be the only girl. Like, she wanted the attention to be like the only girl on the team. So she didn't want me to have it.
So it was like a league of your own.
It was. But, like, she was like, you're just cramping my style. I'm supposed to be the only, like, coach.
You weren't supposed to learn from my stories.
Exactly. You were supposed to give me attention for them.
Yeah.
She joined our swim team, too. That was awkward.
Oh.
As a grown-up. as a fucking grown up.
Oh, it's like moms that do pageants with their kids.
It was so weird. It wasn't like for us, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Aw,
We
you
had
should
the
give
same
her a
thing.
tiara.
She's so silly. She wrote all my papers for me too.
She-
Yep, until college. Until my last 4 papers in college.
Oh.
I've written a lot of my nieces and nephews' papers throughout the years.
It's just like she wrote all of them. I never learned how to do it on my own. You should be careful with that. Because I really still struggle with that, like with the confidence to get stuff done.
Right.
Like you gotta learn, like I think the lesson that I needed to learn was like that I was like good enough, you know?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Like if she'd just been like, you're good, this is good, I would have been like, I can finish it.
Yeah.
But instead she's like, I'll just do it. Then I'm like getting C's. I'm like, bitch, what the fuck? I probably would have got an A if I wrote it.
And you never had the inkling to like try and write it and then turn yours in instead of hers?
Instead of hers, well, she would just take it. It was like it just became like a weird thing that I felt like I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just was like, I can't do it. And then she was writing them like in college. And then I finally like had to finish up. I had gotten all the incompletes and my college was going out of business.
Uh-huh.
And I get this email from my art teacher. I'm living in New York. I had 4 incompletes. I'm living in New York. I just quit drinking. I just started doing comedy. And I get an email from my old art teacher, Susan York, who's like this amazing artist. She's like so successful and so talented and so awesome. And she goes, I just want to let you know that the school that's right there, girl.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can feel it, right?
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
Ah, that's so good.
That's a scientific term, bumpies,
I
too.
love it. She's talking about my herpes for the listeners.
Surprise!
Okay, don't have herpes yet. I'll get it with my
Be
40s.
careful, it's all around the comedy store.
Yeah, like you still have hope.
I mean, I just figure if like you're a single touring comedian in your 40s or 50s, like you got that shit.
You're gonna have
Yeah.
fun.
I completely agree with you.
Which also like herpes ain't shit, so it's not that big a deal. But
I have many questions for Kurt McCowan.
did he say he has it?
No, but now I'm just like, you've been touring a long time and you're single.
He's so hot.
Yeah.
So hot.
You hope he has some hit against him.
Yeah, you're like, I need you to be
Web toes.
non-perfect.
He's so fun. I'm like, Court, what the dick? And did you see him? And he was in like Teen Wolf and shit, the original
Uh-huh.
in the 80s. Not as hot, dude.
No.
He's so much hotter now. Like he used to dye his hair, and I'm like, Court, enough. It's like he's like a silver fox. He's like at his best
Yeah.
looking he could possibly be.
I completely agree.
I'm so mad he's not the Trivago guy. Like, how the fuck did that happen? Get the Trivago commercials and not Court.
I think there's a few comedians that now that they're older, they look better. And
Yeah.
then they did, like, you see
No
old
women,
videos.
let's be honest.
Sorry?
Not women. That's the like inherent sexism of nature.
Yeah.
Right?
We're just like, come on, like, give us something.
They're
No,
so
I feel that about Marin.
Marin
I saw-
looks so, when he was younger, he was not hot at all.
No. He did not look like himself. He posted a picture of himself in like the 80s and I'm all, that's not.
With those circle glasses.
Yeah.
And shit, like, all right, fucking nerd. Like screaming about politics. Like, get out of here. Yeah, he definitely looks his best.
Yeah.
And who else?
But silver foxes are in because there's.
Because we have daddy issues.
Right.
Whatever's in is because we're fucking it. You realize that, right?
That's so true, yes. Because right now, there's this one model, and he's awesome. He's a very nice guy, but he's great, and all of these authors are just lining up to get him because they're all writing these books about silver foxes, dads marrying, and yeah, so.
Are you talking about like romance novels?
Yeah, I write romance
Oh,
novels.
you do?
Yeah,
My mom wrote romance novels but never published them. But she was in, did you do Romance Writers of America?
I didn't, but they've courted me and they've asked me, but I'm just like, I don't have time.
Yeah. Are you published and everything?
I have 6 published, yeah.
Wow.
But it's self-published, so it doesn't count,
Oh,
really.
that's awesome.
So,
My mom self-published a book about raising troubled teenagers based on being written with my therapist from high school.
Oh,
These
no.
pieces of shit.
That's super not allowed.
It's so
no?
fucked up.
that's, yeah.
It's so fucked
You
up.
made me stutter. I don't stutter.
Wow.
Yeah, my mom is problems.
Do
You're
you
the
see
only.
her?
Yeah, I love her. I
Oh,
talk to her
oh
all the
yeah.
time. I
You're
talked
the
to
only
her-
daughter, yeah? Or-
Yeah, I'm the only daughter, but I think my mom, like, she had a tumor in her pituitary gland when she was younger, so she didn't get her period until she was, like, in her early 20s or, like, 19 or something. So she's really detached from femininity, and she's not, like, she's just always been trying to get, like, tomboy attention or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And she was very competitive with me, like, a sister. which I didn't realize till like very recently. Because
Right.
I always worshipped my mom. I wasn't brought up very religious, so my parents were gods, you know, which is like so not healthy. But I just thought they were like amazing. So all these things would happen to me, and all these bad things would happen, and rather than being like they didn't do their job, I just assumed I was like rotten. So I kind of took all the blame. So now I'm undoing all of that, and it's been a little bit of a struggle, you know. But we, you know, my family, we're like a pretty loving family. Or I'm loving, and I'm not willing to let my family not be together. So we work it out. I'm real close with my dad now too. So which came in a little bit later in life, but.
Are your parents still together?
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
They just had their 45th wedding. They had like a recommitment ceremony. It was cute. It was like, oh mom, did you want people to you? It's so funny. It was like all their friends telling them they're great. I'm like, you guys are such pieces of shit. Yeah, my mom heckled me. I was headlining in Philly. She threw this like fucking present on stage. It was like the most disrespectful. I bombed the whole show because I didn't want to. But the lesson for me was I didn't want to like hurt my mom. You know, I was putting her before me, so I didn't handle her the way I would have handled fucking anyone else.
Exactly.
Because I can handle a heckler, but when it was my mommy, I'm like, oh, I don't want to hurt her feelings. And it's like she really didn't take mine into consideration, so I think I should just do it. Because a lot of it was like me kind of parenting them, you know.
Yes.
And so now I'm like, I gotta just like flip it back or you know be shitty parents. You know, I don't want to make their lives like difficult. I don't think it matters, you know.
Right.
You know, in the end, everyone just wants to like be happy and good.
Now, does she have a hard time with you being successful? And
she just doesn't like give it to me the way that I wish she would just give it to me. You know, like and she's very like she'll like make sure it's for the whole family. Be like Annie's entourage. Like she's just very like she just tries to steal the spotlight. She's just always trying to like she wrote my papers for me, which is like a dysfunction on her end. You know, it wasn't a good thing. And then in college, so I got that the email from my teacher saying that college is going out of business in 2 weeks. I went to the College of Santa Fe in New Mexico, and it was going out of business. I don't really know why it went out of business. It went embezzled or something. But
right.
She goes, so you have 4 incompletes. So you have 2 weeks to finish these. And then my mom was like, well, I'm not writing your papers anymore. I'm taking my life back. Like, you took this from me, bitch.
Right.
So then I had to, like, pull it together and write all these papers. I was flying in and out of Santa Fe, like, putting all these flights on my credit card and stuff. I mean, it was good. It felt good to complete them. I liked doing it myself.
Right.
But I was, like, running around and doing them. And I ended up graduating in time. But then during my graduation, my mom and all the pictures kept trying to take the diploma from me. Being like, it's mine. I did the work. It's like, you, like, since I was in 4th grade, like, set me up like I wasn't good enough to finish a fucking paper.
Yeah. Made me really want to go home and, like, hug my kids right now. Be like,
I have the opposite. I so want to talk to your mom right now. I was like, that's so sabotagey what you did. She had 4 things to complete, and you weren't going to help her, and you...
Well, I'm glad she didn't.
No, I'm glad she didn't.
It was good, but it was just like, don't act like I did something to you. I was a kid. You were the adult. Like, she always, like, they treated me like I was their peer that should have known better with everything.
Yeah.
And, like, I ended up, I don't, like, I've talked about this on every podcast, so I don't want to talk about it, and I'm kind of over everyone telling their fucking rape stories at this point.
Okay.
I don't like being in this damn hashtag, but...
Yeah.
But I was sexually assaulted by a teacher. My art teacher in high school, my mom, would drop me off at his house to sleep over.
Oh.
And, like, because his wife was my English teacher, she was helping me. She was tutoring me, but she was just writing my papers. But they were getting me alcohol. They were grooming me and a couple of my friends. And so then they told my mom, they went, well, it'll help them, like, it'll help her in college. Like, she's going to be going away to college. It'll help you guys, to have some distance. Like, you should let her sleep over.
Yeah, because it's perfectly normal.
Isn't that so crazy? And my mom was like, sure. They're like, we have an extra futon. Like, they furnished a room for me.
Oh.
So then one time I was there and nobody else was there. My English teacher was, like, out of town or whatever. But then Greg was still there, the art teacher, dude. And I woke up and he was, like, watching me sleep. But whatever. And he ended up sexually assaulting me. And I had to take him to court and all this stuff. It was really bad. But, since the election, I was very triggered after the election. All this stuff came up, and I have a lot of PTSD from that experience, from all of the people kind of turning on me. Like, nobody was, my whole school was, I just didn't have support through the whole thing. And, my best girlfriend at the time went around and told everyone I was lying and told everyone what happened. It was just like, it was a private thing. I mean, I didn't mind, like, taking the hit. I already got gotten, so it was just about kind of, like, taking the predator out of a situation where I could get more girls. Because, I went around and I found a lot of other girls who had done stuff too. And only one would testify with me. And she was unfortunately not a very she had been she was known for being a little bit of a pathological liar, though I completely believed her story.
Right.
Because it just sounded so like what he would do. And so we went to court. He got like, he had to plead guilty. He ended up getting like 3 years probation. I mean, it was nothing. But I felt like I did what I needed to do, and then he, you know, he had to face his consequences for being a predator and a pedophile or whatever the fuck he was. And but with all that, you know, like I've been pretty like raw about all of it, and really having a lot of flashbacks and stuff since the election.
Yeah.
And all the Me Too stuff really triggers me. It's very like upsetting, especially when they come out and they're not actual assaults.
Yeah.
When it's like personal, like you should have spoken up. And
Yeah.
You should have taken, like, if you consented to a thing, like there's an issue there with why would you consent to a thing you don't want to do? Like that's the issue. That's very upsetting.
Yes.
But I definitely don't want to get into that because it triggers me. But
Okay.
it's like having to think about it like I have to think about it every day. Like I don't know if these women like understand what they're putting like me and like rape victim through.
Yes.
It's really like dragging me through it every day. Like, even the Kavanaugh stuff too. I'm like I can't. I deleted all my social media apps and I have to re-download them every time I use them because I can't have it that easily accessible.
I get
Yeah.
that.
Because I get so triggered.
So,
But this is what I want to say about
Okay.
my mom. So she goes, so in all this like trigger shit, and I'm calling my mom and I'm going like, Mom, I'm like, she's like, can't you just give me a break, like for what happened to you or whatever? And I'm like, Mom, I've given you a break my entire life. Like I'm just realizing that it wasn't my fault that this happened.
Yeah.
That it was the adults in my life let me the fuck down and didn't protect me.
yeah.
And I'm like, and also, like, you dropped me off at a, like, if we could just now, like, I'm not even going to judge you for what you did then because it's already done, right? You did whatever you thought was the thing to do back then for whatever reason. And I'm not going to hold you accountable right now for the past. But now, in the year 2018, when I'm a grown-up and I'm telling you that as a grown-up, I would never fucking put a kid in that position. And now that we know, we've seen it through, we see how it ends up, and where it ends up with me in fucking court, okay? Can we say that now, if you could go back, you would change things? And she like couldn't, she was like, you don't understand. You wanted to go over there. I go, I'm a kid. I don't give a fuck what you thought I wanted to do. They were giving me drugs and alcohol. Like I was being groomed. And she goes, you don't understand how it was back then. Kids always stayed over their teacher's house. I'm like, what are you talking about? You went to boarding school, you idiot.
Right.
Like, are you crazy? Nobody stayed over their teacher's house.
You're younger than me, and
Yeah, she's out of her mind. That didn't happen.
No.
She just like made these grand things up to like justify it. So anyway, then I had this therapist who was condoned all that, thought that was fine. His theory was love-based parenting, which means you just let your kids do whatever you want while you do whatever you want. You just trust them. They'll be fine.
Oh.
Right? But they worded it to make it sound like it was actually a parenting choice. It's just pretty much your kid got molested. How do you get yourself out of this?
Yeah.
Oh, it's because I was trusting them. Right, exactly. So this guy who we wouldn't beat up he worked with mostly troubled boys, and my mom, which that's a red flag to me, by the way. But anyway,
Yeah, no shit.
if you just want to work with troubled kids, like I'm not saying everyone, but like that's like a little shit. Like, why do you need to be with kids that have trouble with boundaries?
I completely agree with you.
And then what he did, he was like, he offered an adult friend, more of a friend that someone a teen could talk to. Like, I don't need adult friends. I have too many adult friends. My mom is my adult friend.
Right.
Like, I need a fucking grown up. So instead of, he didn't have an office or anything, he would just take kids bowling or rock climbing and stuff like that. And I'm like, yo, you're taking us on dates, dude.
No shit.
Like, that's a date. Like, talking about sex and stuff. Like, I don't need to be talking to grown-ups about fucking my boyfriend. I need them to be like, you're a little young to be fucking your boyfriend. This is kind of a big thing to be doing. There's a lot of, like, life consequences. We haven't taught you self-worth yet.
Yeah.
Right.
And now you like, I learned to, like, put everyone's feelings before my own. I think also I have a twin brother, so, like, I'm like, codependent like that.
Okay.
And I was always, like, trying to take care of him. He was, like, littler than me, you know? And so I, like, learned, and my parents, I learned to, like, put their needs before mine and, like, accommodate a room. And I think it made me a good comic, but, you know, my dad used to always call me, like, he was, like, real verbally abusive and called me a selfish cunt and stuff when I was little. But it was, like just natural things I needed. Like, I wasn't being selfish. It was just, like, I need, like, a little help here and stuff. So then I learned to, like, the worst thing you could be is selfish. So then it was, like, I never want to do anything for myself ever, you know? And, so anyway, so then, they ended up writing a book about how to successfully raise a kid.
Because you're a success.
Yeah, but I'm like, I'm a success because I'm a success. Like,
Mhm.
I got better and I stopped like acting out because my dad retired and I had like a parent paying
Right.
attention to me. Like, I didn't need to like go out and try to get like my like, you know, support and love from like weird juvenile delinquent friends. I had it from my dad was home. We just hung out all the time.
Mhm.
We just had a great time. We just laughed and had a good time. So it was just like a lot. And wait, why was I don't remember where this? I've just been going and going and going.
No, did anything like, okay, I hate putting this about me for a second,
Oh, that's
but
fine.
so my first book that I published, it's a lot of the abuse that my ex-boyfriend put on me. I just I gave it to this girl instead. Like, I gave my past to this fictional character in a book and printed it, and it's her life now. I made her strong enough to deal with it.
Yeah.
I gave her a really sexy guy that she falls in love with, gets married, and have a kid with.
Right.
Like, there you go, happy ever after. But a lot of the times I go to author signings and I have women who come up to me and they're like, you described exactly how my relationship was.
Yeah.
And thank you so much. Like, I got, and a couple of them are like, I left my boyfriend, I'm still looking for my gorgeous guy that's perfect in the book. But do you get any of that? Like, people, thanking you for coming forward and you empowering them to, like, share their story?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do. I've gotten a lot of shit from women too, though, because for me, what's missing in this movement is the conversation. Like, if it were framed like, not to get dismissive, so the Chris Hardwick story, with his girlfriend, like, if it had been like, I retrospectively wish that I had been more communicative or like not been in a situation I didn't want to be in, and I learned this lesson, it's just like not like it's like I want them to change. And it's like, you don't have, like, that would be great, and I want them to change too, but, I mean, I'm talking specifically about Chris Hardwick, because, whatever, I read that thing, that's, like, okay.
Right.
Alright, what? But, like, I think when you get raped, and you don't have any power in the situation, you learn that, like, it's like when your house gets robbed, and it's like, you realize that these boundaries, these walls, like, they're not really protecting you.
They're not, they're just, they're false.
Yeah, they're false. And there's a reality that comes with being raped. And when I say raped, I mean raped. Not someone asked you to do something and you said yes because you felt career things. Like, that's a thing. It's a very different thing. But you learn that like you can't control the outside world. I don't drink anymore because I got raped when I was passed out in Santa Fe when I was like 21. And my roommate watched this guy like picking me up and fucking me while I was like gone. So I don't drink anymore, and not because, for other reasons too. It was not what I wanted to do, but I look at it like this. Like, I had friends that were like, we're talking about like some college date rape stuff. Like, a lot of this is very alcohol related. This is very, very like, this is like when you're blacking out, it's like you lose your ability to protect yourself. And my friend went, I should be able to get blackout drunk and not get raped. I'm like, yeah, of course you should be able to. However, when you're gone, you're gone. Like, you can't rely on the outside world to accommodate you. All you have control over is yourself and making yourself as strong as possible. Like, we should all be like trained in fucking martial art. Like, we should all be like weapons to protect ourselves. And I'm not even just saying women. Like, almost every guy I've ever had sex with will open up to me because I'm very open about the things that happen to me. But they were like molested or something. Like adults are fucking kids a lot. Like, bad things are happening, and like we need the tools. Like rape happens. Like, we need to stop talking about like you can't explain to a rapist to not rape. Like, that's not like an explainable thing. Like, they're predators. It's like, why are we not talking about how we handle it when shit like this happens? Like, how is that victim shaming? I don't think it's the fault of them. I don't think it's your fault if people act out and you get raped. I'm just saying, like, don't you want to like protect yourself?
Right.
I don't think it's their fault at all. I don't, like, I just like was like, I don't want to be in this position ever.
Right.
I want to be as strong as I can. And it's like, it's hard that nowadays you can't really say that without getting the label of like victim shaming or being a rape apologist. I'm like, what? I want all that to stop. But like rape kits aren't getting tested, and that's like a cop problem we need to be dealing with. And girls are so traumatized after this happens, and men, that they take showers and shit. It's so fucking traumatizing, and I don't think that's like, that's like it's a huge thing. Yeah. But it's like, there's no like, we need to like train, like, that in the case something like that happens, Like, what's the protocol? How do you handle it? Who do you call? How fast do you have to go to a place? Like,
Right.
where do you report? What's the best way to report it? Like,
And there have to be better resources when you do those
Exactly.
things. Because people aren't trying, they're trying to keep their numbers
yeah,
down.
people don't want. I know from when I did that with my school, people don't want me to cause a problem,
Right.
and that's the issue. You know, like.
I know you
And so when everyone's like, you're a hero coming out 30 years later about something that's literally not assault, I'm like, what? Hero shouldn't be coming into this. Hero? What are you talking about? A terrible thing happened. There's no hero in this situation. Like, I guess it's brave or I don't know. It's just so confusing. I'm like,
It is very
nobody called me a fucking hero when I missed my summer break fucking singing in court and being called a liar by everyone. I kept spinning on my car handle, so I would like go to open my car and there was like loogies on it, call me a liar. But I didn't need them to believe me. I needed a judge to believe me.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy had to plead guilty. He
Right.
did it. You know, when he only got 3 years probation, but he was a white guy with dreads. And to impress the cop, he cut the dreads off. So I do believe I am an American hero for that.
And we salute you.
But it's like, what are we doing? And why are we making it a popular thing to be a victim of something?
I agree.
What's going on? Like, what is that?
I mean, it's just, not the same thing, but, you know, like you say, you don't want to get blackout drunk, like, protect yourself. It's just same with you don't drive down a shitty area of town and pitch black.
Yeah, and it's not your fault if something happens. I would never say that.
No, it's not your
That's
fault,
crazy.
It's preventative.
but if you
And
can
it's
be
just, let's
aware-
acknowledge the full story. Like, let's just acknowledge the full, what exactly, like, if we only do parts, if we're like, men are bad and women are good, and we're not acknowledging, like, any of the other things, we're not telling the truth and we're not going to fix the problem.
Right.
Because there's no conversation, okay? This is like, it's a weird thing that's happening right now. It's very political. It's confusing. I don't understand it.
It is, and I'm raising 3 boys.
I mean, and it's like, I remember, like, being like, we gotta, like, I said something like, we gotta, like, I wish I'd been taught to, like, say no more confidently, you know?
Uh-huh.
But I wasn't taught fucking anything. I had to learn all my shit, like, on my own. I think that's why I'm, like, good at stand-up and good at reading people, because, like, that's the only way I could do things. I had to, like, figure it out.
Right. See, I wish I would have been taught to have more self-confidence.
Just like, it doesn't matter if you're popular.
Yeah.
Like, all of this stuff is, like, about popularity. Like, what? Being liked and shit, or, like, getting a thing?
Yeah, because I've slept with guys that I'm like, fuck,
Of
Joy, what the
course.
fuck were you
Of
thinking?
course.
And a lot of it was I didn't have the self-esteem, and I was like, whatever. I mean, it's not, they didn't rape me.
And it was hard to say no. Of course.
Yeah, I didn't.
Those
you know.
times you said yes when you really wanted to say no.
Yeah, and I did it, and I'm like, and now that I think about it, I'm like, oh,
I always say
God.
don't rape yourself with someone else's body.
Right.
That's what it felt like, you know, like, did I just rape myself? Like, why did I put, like, this dude's feelings above my own feelings?
So much so.
And, like, to not have an awkward situation, I'm gonna let you fuck me?
Uh-huh. I'm gonna blow you. Like,
Yeah, I'm gonna do these things to just get the thing done. I'm not gonna be like, get the fuck up.
Yeah.
But I have had situations where I've had, like, you know, like, network, like, heads of network and shit lean in for a kiss when I think I'm in a business meeting.
Right.
And I've thrown my fucking hands up in an X and been like, no thanks. Like, I work hard. Like, I've handled that. Like,
Right.
I know it's possible. I know it's not even particularly that hard.
Right.
It's like, you know, it's like a confidence thing. And I'm willing to, like, if I was going to get a TV deal and then I'm not getting a TV deal because I said no to someone, good. I don't want that fucking TV deal.
Mm-hmm.
I'll live happily with less money knowing that I didn't fucking do that.
Right.
However, other people, there are some women that are, like, completely down with that, are seeking those situations out, are looking as an opportunity to move forward in their careers, and I don't fucking judge that either.
No.
That's your business. That's not my business.
That's what you are. If you can live with yourself, you go. If you're not hurting me. But it's not like none of us have ever heard of the casting couch.
Exactly. I was so shocked when it was real, though.
Were you?
I was in shock. I just couldn't believe it. I was like, I thought that was pretend.
I just heard it so much. I was like, oh, okay, that's how it is. But for the longest time, I grew up that men were better than women.
Yeah, me too.
So, and I'm still struggling with that to this day. Like, I want to say the past maybe, since I published my first book 4 years ago, I'm finding myself and I'm becoming like, I'm worth it too.
Right.
And
But also it's like, maybe like, don't even worry about like female male shit. Like, just own that you have like you're feminine, but you have some, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
it's just about you, right? Like,
Right.
have you ever done DMT?
No.
I smoked DMT. It's a hallucinogen. It's like, You've heard of ayahuasca. Do you know what DMT is?
Well, now that you said the hallucinogen, kind of, yeah, I've heard of it.
Have you heard of ayahuasca?
Yes. I've
Okay.
actually never done any type of drug.
Oh, cool. All right. That's cool. It's awesome.
I mean, I drink alcohol every once in a while, but even then, I can't tell you the last time.
Do you think it's because of the abuses that you've been through?
I do not like being out of control.
Yep.
At all.
I get it.
It's very, very, and in fact, if things are, and stupid things, like, I freak out when I have to get gas in my car.
Yeah.
And it's the dumbest thing, but when I wake up, I know exactly how my day is going to go.
Yeah.
So when something alters it, like the gas light coming on, I can't
That's
handle
understandable.
it.
Yeah.
It's very hard for me.
Do you guys have tissues by any chance? I get like my nose gets so clogged.
Yeah.
Yes, your lymphatic system is moving.
Yeah, I need to. Maybe I also need a. What do you think? What are those things that you have at night for kids and stuff in their room? Humidifier?
Humidifiers.
I think I need one of those too.
But yeah, your lymphatic system is moving.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you didn't have to hold this up to my face, this microphone. I imagined you just squatting, holding the mic up to the thing.
We're looking at getting another one, and like we're just figuring out how to like strap it to the.
Just have it right up there.
Yeah.
You could maybe lav right here.
Yeah, something like that.
But anyway, we're getting into production. Now I'm a producer. But yeah, I completely understand that, like wanting to be controlled. I just like want to be powerful. I just want to be my most powerful self.
Yes.
And I'm not worried about gender so much anymore. Like because if I think back, I'm like, I've been fucked over by a lot of girlfriends. Like I've been raped by men, and I've been fucked over by a lot of girlfriends. And my mom really didn't overrule me. My dad really didn't overrule me. But I also have I look at my group of friends that I have now, like my girlfriends and my guy friends, and I'm like, they're fucking irreplaceable. They're like the cream of the crop, like the best fucking people, just real, honest, like smart, funny, strong. Like I just have good people in my life. And so I try to just not focus on good people.
I agree.
And the gender stuff, it's so like it's being talked about so much that I'm like trying to not even think about it. Like how you're saying like one's better than the other. It's like it's really so. What I've meant about why I brought up DMT was because I smoked DMT and it's about a 5 minute. It's like the same as ayahuasca, but ayahuasca has something that inhibits it and makes you it like blocks it so that it lasts longer.
Okay.
But
slow releasing.
Yeah, like you do it for hours, you're puking and seeing shit, handling your demons. But ayahuasca or DMT is about a 5 to 10 minute trip, and it's very intense. It's very it's wild. So I smoked it, and the last time I did it, I was catapulted into this beautiful other dimension that I don't even know how to explain because there aren't words for what I saw, And but it was like this, bright, vibrant colors, like kaleidoscope, I'm flipping through this, seeing what's really here,
Right.
And there's this, woman feeling, it's to me it's God, it's this womanly being, and I can't really see her, she's, to the left of me, I can't really see her, but I can feel her, and I keep going to think about my mom, or my friend Abby, or someone else, and my neck would break, not in a painful way, I would just go, and it would go to another dimension of this weird cube thing on it, and she would go, it's you, it's you, it's you, and so I've been really thinking about that a lot, and so for me to be worried about whether I'm better off as a girl or boy, it doesn't matter because I just am a girl,
right,
and so it's what's I want to, because I think a lot of my life was and I don't know if this is the same for you, but has been I'm big, I'm bright, I'm shiny, so I'm loud, I'm a lot. And so a lot of it was making myself smaller to accommodate other people. And I don't want to do that anymore, I want to be my biggest, and I think that I can help more people being at my capacity than shrinking myself,
I agree. And that's, yeah. That's
so being a woman's the shit, because I fucking am one.
But it is, yeah.
Yeah, but also it's it is.
Yeah, because when I was with my ex, I let him shrink me really far down. Because I used to be this loud, never take no for anything, stick up for everyone.
A rapist?
Yeah, totally. Just every dick in my mouth, every hole just filled. And now I'm still, like, I'll still every once in a while go in this, like, meek little mouth thing. I'm like, fuck, why am I doing this?
But then it's like you gotta be like kind with yourself and that shit too. And be like, at this moment, that's what I did. Like, I catch myself now because
I'm gonna flip you over.
oh sure, because I was always mimicking my mom because I thought she was fucking God. And my mom would always give me away. Like, every time something good about me, like, she would give me to another, you know, like, just give me away. So I've noticed in my life where I do that. Like I'll see something cool or, like, something helps me immediately rather than, like, focus on getting it for myself, trying to give it to other people. Call them, like, oh, did you read this book? Did you do this thing? Did you do that? Like, not that I don't want to help other people, but it's like, I don't even let myself have it.
Right.
I don't let myself have it once.
I don't let you bask in it. You just...
In the main room, I've been putting the lights down. I've been having them dim the lights, and I've been having such fun. Because it's just such a change, you know? All of a sudden it's dark in the room, and a couple other comics do it.
Right.
But I did it, and I just, like, had this amazing set with it. And then I immediately went out and told all the comics, like, you should all put the lights down. But if they all put the lights down, it's not special when I do it anymore.
Exactly.
And of course they can do whatever they want, but it's like, why did I immediately just, like, it's just like this, and I'm in yoga there, and I go, why the fuck did I do that? And then I was like, wait, I can't be mad at myself for this. It's just a thing I did, and it's awesome that I recognize the pattern. And that from now on, I'll cut a bitch that puts the lights down. No, but I won't do that anymore. And of course, like, I would never, like, if anyone put the lights down, it's fine. But it just was like, it was just a weird, it's just interesting to be able to, like, kind of step outside for a second.
To see something. I
Yeah.
agree. Like, yeah.
So all this time you're mad at yourself, it's probably just, like, a really good lesson, right?
Yes, because now, because I recognize, I'm like, because John, he's like, why do you get so mad when you have to get gas? I'm like, because it's not in my day.
Right.
And, like, when the kids get sick, I'm like, oh my god, what's going to happen now? And
You little fuckers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Show me little things.
How old are they?
7, 12, and 17.
Yeah, that's so funny. I'm 17.
He just got his driver's license yesterday.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Is that scary? That's out of control.
You know what? I'm super proud of him because he didn't have any errors. He had a perfect test, so, like, good for him. He's my stepson,
Yeah.
so he's very much trying to find himself right
Yeah.
now, so I'm very proud of him.
Yeah.
If he could just get rid of his girlfriend, it would be amazing.
Probably will.
to be edited out.
Unless he too has a 17-year-old.
So, yeah, but because of that, like, now I'm recognizing when something goes off the way I have it because I'm such a controlling person. I'm like, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Like,
Now,
Emily-
what can I ask you about the girlfriend? And you can edit it
No,
out,
that's
so
fine.
What's the problem with the girlfriend?
Well, okay, so when she first came into the picture, I really liked her.
Right.
Because she was very, I'm powerful. Like, she wanted to try out for lacrosse. She was taking night classes. She has her pilot's license. Like,
Cool.
yes, like, go. And then her and my son started dating, and then it just became them in this bubble.
Right.
And I don't think she's been in a plane since she got her license.
Yeah, she could.
They have no friends. They only hang out with
When they're
each other.
17?
She's 18, he's 17. And he'll be 18 on October 13th. Because that was,
Oh, that's a cute birthday. I like that.
he was born Friday the 13th.
I love
As the only time his mom was born.
that.
So,
Not
yeah.
today, Satan. I've been seeing people with those shirts. Not today, Satan.
Satan, back away. But, and she's very controlling. And she's taking him away from his family, like, to the point where he almost acts like he's better than us now, which, I mean, a little bit of that is being 17, 18,
Yeah.
but it sucks. Like, he doesn't hang out with us anymore. He doesn't hang out with his cousins. His cousins will call and be like, hey, come over to our apartment and hang out.
He's
And
getting puss.
that's
He's all
exactly
psyched
what
to
it
be
is.
fucking, dude.
That's exactly
These
what
kids
it
get
is.
so. I'm like, I was talking to it's funny, my massage therapist. She has a 15-year-old. She's like, he doesn't hang out with us anymore. He just goes into the room. He's like, he's jerking off, dude.
Yeah.
He found his dick. Like, he
Uh-huh.
just realized what dick he has.
Uh-huh.
He's figured it out, and
He's-
gotta give him a couple years.
It's so funny.
And a lot
But
of,
it's scary because he is almost an adult, so it's like he could start like making this like a forever thing.
and, yeah, well, they want to get married. And he also has extreme abandonment issues. So she was like, oh, I love you. And he's like, you love me? You love me? You're mine. And she has extreme abandonment issues, too. So they, like, glommed onto each other. And it's terrifying because they don't have an identity anymore. And they're so young. So it's just hard for me. And she hates me. Like, she thinks I'm an idiot. And it really bugs me.
So
So,
fuck what an 18-year-old thinks of you.
I know.
Dumb bitch. You think I'm an idiot? You're 18, bitch. You're dating a 17-year-old, you dork.
No, right?
I'll be 18, what, 2
weeks.
You're scared of him?
Yeah.
Because you want to, like, live it out.
I have no idea what he's going to do. I don't know if he's going to move out. I don't know if he's ever going to come back. And a lot of it isn't me worried. I'm worried about, what he does do. Because John and I fought very, very hard to get custody of this kid. And I just don't want him breaking John's heart.
That's so good that you did that. None of us supposed to get this kid.
Yeah.
Does he know how hard you guys love him?
He kind of knows.
You probably don't want to talk because you don't want to, like, highlight that his mom.
Mm-hmm. But we do have a box that has everything in it. Like, I kept logs of every day and what she would do, and I have like all of her failed drug tests, and so we told him, we're like, it's there. If you ever want to go through it, if you don't, if you want to burn it, it is yours when you're 18 to do it as you want.
Yeah.
But it's just,
I think as long as you just love them up.
that's
But
what
I
we
know
do.
they don't, like, they're at that age where, oh,
I know, when he came over and he had this huge smile, so I knew he passed.
yeah.
And he walked by me and I just slugged him really hard in the arm and I go, fuck yeah! And then he started laughing because I knew if I hugged him and like started crying, he would have been like, oh my god,
You're sad.
You're such an idiot. But yeah, then I was like, fuck yeah! And he just started laughing. And I'm all, okay, now drive me to lunch.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Now you have to do all of it.
Exactly. And your brothers, this is where they go to school.
I remember my brother would drive me and my twin brother around. He would always like fart and then roll the windows up and then laugh.
I'm married to that.
Such torture.
I had too many sisters. They're all like, everything's gross.
That's so funny. No sisters, man, except my mom, I guess.
I was just me and my brother.
I have 4 sisters and 3 brothers.
Wow, what the hell?
Mormons.
Wait, but you're, where are you from again?
Nova Scotia. My mom's from Utah, though.
And then your dad is,
From Canada.
but you're, what did you say, you're Muslim?
Oh, no, my dad's part Lebanese. He's adopted, though, so it doesn't.
Into a Lebanese family, or he's from Lebanon and then he was adopted into
His bio dad was Lebanese, and he was adopted into white people.
Oh, cool.
And her
Great.
grandma.
Great scenario.
Right? The best that you can think of.
Awesome.
Her grandma used to own, like, she was a madam.
Yeah, she had brothels.
Wow.
Her grandma was bad.
And then my dad found the church.
Wow. He rebelled.
Ruined
I
everything.
know, that's the weird thing. And then he got my mom, and my mom, her family's like super, super, super Mormon. Like, just before, like, sister wives, Mormon. So, it was not a good mix.
Your parents are divorced?
No, they're still together. She did not get along well with my grandmother, though.
Wow.
She's like, she's a fallen woman, and she's very unsavory. And
That shit is so good. That I have to read that story.
no, we needed this.
Maybe it was so
I'm so glad you came in. Now, since we're like finishing up, is there anything you want to plug? Any CD, anything like that? And I won't fuck up your name again.
It happens like all day long. And my dad fucking just outed it. And possibly I'm the one from it. So don't worry. I guess just hit my Instagram up. Annie Lederman, ANNIE-LEDERMAN. Instagram me. That's where I put most of my stuff. I'm at the store most things a week.
Don't be weird, we'll kick you out.
Yeah, if you heckle, you're gonna get kicked out, but I'm not usually that mad at you or anything. It's just a circumstance. It's crazy.
Just a thing.
Cause and effect.
We just have to do the fucking show, so people have to go. But it's not. The Lord will forgive you. Unless you do it again, then you're dead to us. Oh my god, this is so awesome.
Alright, guys.
Holy shit.
Have a good day. I hope you're nice and relaxed.
Yeah. Boom. Sounds like I'm just triggering things.
I know.
I'm like, I don't want to talk about this stuff. It's like,
a lot of stuff comes out when you get a massage, which is kind of why I wanted to do this. But I was just like, oh, I hope she's okay with me touching her while I'm doing it.
sorry about the parking thing. I was having PTSD from moving this.
I get it. It's like, did I do wrong?
No.
Like, we didn't even have a place, and I just,
No.
I
I'm always like trying to, I'm like, I'll just assert a boundary, and then I do it wrong, and then I'm like, did I over assert a boundary? It sounds crazy. And then it was like $2, and I was like, okay, that's so funny. I don't know why I thought it was gonna be like one of those $20 parking.
well, it's up here. Everything's so expensive. It's
That's
definitely gonna be crazy.
Oh.
Ta-da!
Yay.